This is my 1996 Miata that I picked up for $3,500, but there was a catch. One of the valves was burned. So after taking the head to a machine shop and replacing the valves, it was ready to be put back together. However, as you can tell by the title of this video, that's easier said than done.
So time has come and the head has been resurfaced. It's all clean, looks super nice. And now I have to put it all back together. So I need to figure out how to do that. In the meantime, so we have air intake, coil packs, everything. We should have all the bolts. I doubt he would throw anything away. I kind of haven't really touched this engine bay much. Covered everything up, and now I need to take it off with a razor. I have a scrub pad, and then I think I'm going to take it with probably 500 grit sandpaper to start off with, but we'll see. So that is the goal. Hopefully today I can get everything on. So it's actually been a couple days later. Turns out that I was missing these two, but there's no way I dropped them because it was on this injector, and this injector wasn't taken off until like right here was the only place it was taken off, and I remember it missing that. So I'm actually thinking that it initially was missing that, and something like that could have legit caused the valve to break, that they might have forgot to put it back. Maybe they took off the intake and the fuel rail at one point, and maybe that's what caused it to break. But now I'm just going to put all this back together and try to get the head in. I'm going to keep the old belt because it's new, and I'm just going to put everything on and hope for the best. Okay, so the bolts are threaded in, and now the tie down pattern goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And it says just to do to 60. However, I'm going to just go to 30 and then 60 so that I'm not just straight torquing everything down right away. So yeah, quick update to what I've done. I've torqued all these down, and I've put all the covers and everything on these cam gears. Basically, this line is supposed to point towards that. There should be an E right there and an I over there. They look exactly the same, but the I will point up and the E will point up on here. But yeah, this E will point to this E, and this I will point to this I. Now I just need to like plug everything else in. And I kind of did a dumb move without putting that gasket there, so I'm gonna have to figure that out too. But yeah, so everything is coming along quite nicely. It took a bit of effort, but I got this belt off. I had to take off all of this apparently to actually fit it on, but I finally got it. I'm going to link you guys to a video that actually really helped me a lot. But now I'm going to loosen this bolt and then run it a few times, and that should tension it. So yeah, fun tip, make sure you put it back into neutral. But there we go, we went around a few times. Now we need to tighten that, make sure that's still in time. Now I'm gonna put on the valve cover. Basically, I just put on the gasket that I got with the set. You're going to need an actual gasket sealer and put it in all of these corners here as well. And that should be it. Then you just tighten it. Well guys, engine is all put back together. Kind of just reconnected everything. And I believe there's some clips over there that need to be connected, some other things, but for the most part it seems to be about good. Hello, that dropped again. So I'm gonna refill all the coolant and everything. Oil is in. Fun thing, when I put the head on and I tightened it all down, I clipped this wire. I have no clue if it's in the head or not, so that's one thing I'm going to have to check. Did I mess this all up with one dumb quick mistake? I don't know, we're gonna find out. So right now I'm going to prime everything. Everything should be connected. Well, what I was praying wouldn't happen happened. Turns out while I was putting my head back on, a wire got in between the head and the block. So now I need to take everything apart. So yay. Fun moment that I could have seen this before I tightened everything down. That's a fun thing. Now I'm going to have to take everything off just so I can put, well, including all these belts, just so I can put this timing belt back on. And I'm going to have to loosen the head to take that out. And I'm pretty sure there were 2 of them. So unless I can find 2 of them, then I'm not putting this all back together. So yeah, fun stuff. So a bit of an update. I kind of have to redo everything a second time. First time, I got a wire stuck between the block and the head, took everything apart, put it all back together, everything seemed good, bolted it down, checked, everything was good. Poured coolant, and coolant came out of the head. I think it's because I reused the same gasket as when I used the wire the first time, and it might have messed up the gasket. So this time, I'm taking it all back apart, resurfacing every surface, buying a new gasket, and putting it back together, 100% making sure I do the right torque spec and everything. And hopefully this time, everything works out. I don't know. Maybe not, maybe it will. We'll see. Okay, so I'm not certain what caused the head gasket to fail, but it definitely has a major problem. It was, coolant got absolutely everywhere in the engine. I'm gonna have to flush it again. I'm going to have to clean out the ports. Maybe it has to do with this thing. I don't know. I did reuse the head gasket, as I said earlier, and it does have scoring over here from when I was trying to put it in. That could be the cause. I'm going to have to be careful when I put it in, just so I don't have another issue. I already bought another head gasket just in case that was the issue. And hopefully this is the last time I have to put the engine back together. So everything is connected. This isn't bolted down, but everything else should be as it has to be. Now I'm going to do the first test. I haven't tested it yet. There is no pressure on the gas pedal. Darn. Okay, so everything's together. This just needs to be bolted in. A couple things need to be bolted in, but that's about it. I got jump starter because the battery is basically dead. Let's give it a couple seconds because that did not sound too good. So I took a second look at the engine. I didn't fully put on the belt. That's not what caused it though. It turns out that these two on the coil pack, I flipped them. So now everything is in. Now I'm gonna try to start it. I also put in a new battery. It's charged. Everything should be fine. Key is in. Neutral. Has a check engine, but thankfully I have OBD2, and that is okay. It won't hold idle. Oh, you know what? I think I could be wrong, but I forgot to plug this in. Now let's try. So it's holding idle. That's good. And okay. definitely a lot of smoke. However, that's just the manifold. So I just need to put on the cover. I might need to adjust that. That could be the issue. Okay. So I flushed the coolant, flushed the oil, changed everything. So now it's all good. I actually changed the idle. Before it had a ticking sound and it was jumping around, but right now it seems pretty good. However, I still do have a check engine code. I'm going to have to check exactly from what, but the engine sounds healthy. It's idling well. Oh, I doubt this is it, but
I didn't film this last part, but what turned out to be the issue was I forgot to plug a hole in the intake, which caused the engine to idle poorly. After I plugged it in, the check engine light went away and the car ran fine. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys are interested in more content like this, I have a lot more coming up, so stay tuned. So see you guys next time.